What's up, everybody? Hey, Tom Laird here, host of the Advice from a Call Center Geek podcast and founder of Expedia. For exceptional contact center outsourcing, trust Expedia. We're fully AI-driven, as all of you know, and can handle voice, email, chat, and all of your digital channels. Our 600-seat USA contact center is expert in healthcare, financial services, insurance, tech support, retail, and more. Experts on the NICE CX1 platform, we ensure seamless customer experiences. DM me or visit expediausa.com for more.
This is Advice from a Call Center Geek, a weekly podcast with a focus on all things call center. We'll cover it all from call center operations, hiring, culture, technology, and education. We're here to give you actionable items to improve the quality of yours and your customers' experience. This is an evolving industry with creative minds and ambitious people like this guy. Not only is his passion call center operations, but he's our host. He's the CEO of Expedia Interaction Marketing Group and the Call Center Geek himself, Tom Laird.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Advice from a Call Center Geek, the call center and contact center podcast, where we try to give you some actionable items, take back your contact center, improve the overall quality, improve your agent experience, hopefully improve your customer experience as well. My name is Tom Laird. I am the CEO and founder of Expedia Interaction Marketing. We are a 400 to 500 seat contact center outsourcer, a BPO located here in Northwestern Pennsylvania, and also the CEO of our new AI startup, Auto QA, where we are fully scoring contact center QA calls using large language models and AI. How's everybody doing? It's good to talk to you for another week as we're here on a Thursday, starting to kind of wind down the week. First, second, getting into now the third week of January already. Pretty crazy. This topic's been on my mind a lot. I've seen a couple posts on it on LinkedIn over the past couple days, and I want to kind of give all my feelings because I try to type some comments into some of these some of the posts that people had that were really well thought out. But I have so much to say on this topic that I wanted to do a full episode. I'm not sure how long this one's going to be, right? But I have some real thoughts on this that I think have been kind of grown and brought up through us using Auto QA. And having to think through, how do you use large language models to score empathy? Everybody has that question, right, on their form. Did the agent show empathy on the call? And again, how do you, a human being can kind of notice that or recognize that, but how do large language models and how does AI recognize it? That's the first part of this. And then the next part is, can AI actually show that same empathy, right? Can we take what a voice bot says? Can it elicit the same emotions that we want or have? And can we feel the same way when somebody gives us true empathy? Now, I am the first one to tell everyone that, human beings, I believe, empathy is a feeling, right? I wrote down here, and I'm just kind of looking at the definition. I asked I asked ChatGPT, what is the definition of empathy? And empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person, to emotionally turn into what someone else is experiencing from their perspective. So you're feeling, like literally feeling what they feel and then responding to them. That's a profound statement, right? And again, normally you would kind of just blow through this, but in the age of AI, that's a profound statement, to understand and share the feelings of a person. Let's talk about what I believe empathy or how empathy can be scored or how empathy can be looked at when it comes to contact center calls. I don't say struggled with this, but we thought long and hard on how do we score empathy using large language models, because every single form that we have has one question that says, did the agent show empathy? Did the agent give an empathetic statement? And you guys that have been following me for a really long time know that, I think empathetic statements are kind of garbage, right? The whole, I'm really sorry to hear that, ma'am. Oh, I'm sorry you had to deal with that. Oh, let me help you. I'm really sorry that we did that, right? Like, it's something that they've said 400 times. And again, that's not empathy, right? Because that is not understanding and sharing the feelings of another person. That's giving a statement that we have to check a box on a QA form, right? Huge difference. And there are some organizations that really train and educate. I would say it is in the minority though, right? Right? How many times have you called, your cable company, your internet company, you called your bank, right? Banks honestly have gotten, at least my bank with PNC, have gotten a little bit better with this and really trying to, talk to customers and feel it out. But for the most part, they're using an empathetic statement, right? And again, I called that false hustle, right? Wrote a whole book on this, right? False hustle, right? So it's kind of just doing something for the sake of doing it, checking a box and thinking, hey, we did great. And I think that's the struggle. So we said, to each of our customers that come on with Auto QA, is this what you really want, right? Do you want empathy to be scored just with an empathetic statement? And I'll be honest, we have some customers like, Tom, leave it alone. That's what our empathy is. We've been doing this for 15 years. We know what our baselines are. That's what we want. And obviously, AI and Sonnet 3.5 and ChatGPT can very easily pick up a statement in a call. We have other customers that say, Tom, how do you really do empathy? And what we have come up with, like over these past literally 17 months of just thinking about this, and it's come up weekly, right, is two things, is outcomes and intent, right? So we've taken kind of the, empathy is the ability to understand and share feelings of another person, to emotionally tune into what they're experiencing from their perspective, and then trying to help, right? Because in customer support, you're trying to help. So what we say with our empathetic prompt, if you want to go deep into this thing and not just say, hey, an empathetic statement, we say things like, hey, look through the entire call for us, the transcript. Find all the different pain points that the customer said, right? Maybe like, I've been on I've been on hold for 20 minutes. Hey, your product, it just doesn't work. Hey, this was broken when it came to me, right? All of these different things. And instead of just saying that blanket, I'm really sorry to hear that, right? Have a statement that actually correlates, right? Have the intent, right? And then, hey, let's look to see if the outcome of that statement did something, right? That we can measure, right? Because again, we're trying to measure things with AI. So did it raise the tone? Did it raise the sentiment? Did it lower the tone, right? Depending on how it goes. And I think when you start to see that, and you guys have heard me say this too, I have so many customers that come through like, hey, Tom, will Auto QA raise our NPS or our CSAT? And my answer is like, if you use your form as it is, no, it won't. We're just going to score it. You're going to continue on doing what you're doing. But if you want to go deeper in training your agents on a different empathetic, a different call control, a different level, we can now score much deeper down the rabbit hole. And so, again, I'm starting at the agent level because now with AI, right, and we're going to talk about AI too, and can that do empathy? But for this first part, AI can now assist in having human beings be more empathetic on customer service calls. And we have found prompting and have the receipts to do that, right? It is 100% when we have customers that buy in to going much deeper. It's very hard for human beings to score empathy at scale, right? You have to listen to the call. You have to continue to listen. You have to listen all the way through, find out if there's true empathy. No, that's why we just came up with hey, did they say this empathetic statement? Because it was easy to check. So now with AI, we can really try to train and educate agents on intent and on the outcome of the issue that customer had. I think that's a huge difference, and we've seen it with some of our customers. And being able to score things again, like we always talk about scoring and incenting our customer service agents off of sentiment scoring from analytics, and now we can do that with large language models and with our AI, right? So you're almost proving, right? So again, we're a BPO to our customers that we're treating your customers, right, which are our customers, I guess, too, in the right way. So having said all that, right? There are ways now that AI is actually helping the human beings become more empathetic because, again, like I said, we can train down the rabbit hole much deeper. When it comes to can AI, if I am an AI avatar of Tom and I am talking to a customer, I think it's almost hypocritical is not the right word. Almost an oxymoron, right? To say that AI can show empathy, because no matter what they are doing, right, it's false hustle because they don't feel. And I think the feeling part is a human aspect of this. Now, I'm going to say that, and I'm going to create a little snippet of this, right, of this podcast, and I'm going to send this all out, and I'm going to get every single chatbot company in the world coming and saying, listen to my bot, listen to my bot. I've taken so many demos, and I'm a jerk on the demos. And again, if somebody wants to come and they want to come on the podcast, I'm inviting you. Come on the podcast and let me demo your bot, right? I'm going to be irate as heck. I'm going to have issues. I'm going to see how you respond to kind of the extremes of human contact center calls. And I think that's where the human comes in. And again, I think that we're not talking if there's a place for chatbots and for AI bots. 100% there is, right? But we're saying when it comes to certain specific issues, situations, healthcare, looking at the 211s, right? Looking at all these issues with wildfires, looking at the hurricanes that happened in Florida and in North Carolina. If they called into there and there was an AI bot, would the empathy be there? And again, my answer is no. And I think even if it's good, the customer on the other end of the line knows that is a bot and knows that it's I don't want to say pre-programmed, but it is basically programmed to say these certain types of things, but it doesn't feel what we're feeling. It doesn't have actual true emotion where it actually feels bad for us and wants to help on a different level. Now, maybe it does help on a different level, and maybe that's okay. That's not what we're talking about here, though. We're talking about can it really show true empathy? And that's where I kind of have issues with what is empathy, right? We're kind of getting to this AI world of what is real, right? And and I think we have to really take a step back and kind of look at what a human being can do. AI is making our agents, they have to be better, right? If they're not better, if they're not showing true empathy, if they're going through the motions, if they're doing false hustle, then there's no reason not to have a bot take their job, right? But the true customer-centric organizations that really value kind of this empathetic, this human touch aspect is still going to have this, but they're going to have deeper trained agents that are on a different level because they're going to have to be. They're going to have to be from an educational standpoint, but from an actual feeling standpoint, I think that's a huge part. And my buddy Nate here says we should get like 5 of them to go head to head, bot versus Laird. I'm ready. Like I will go. I've consulted with a lot of companies looking to kind of get bots, and I said, let me do your demos. Let me go on the demos. And again, don't let the bot companies do the demo because it's going to be amazing, right? It's really cool. Make sure that you get to do the demo, that you get to talk to it, that you have, and I actually have a sheet of different scenarios now that I go through with each of these bot companies, and no one's been able to do all of them. Some are better than others. But when you talk to all of them, right, and you guys, I have to say it at least one episode, the My AI Chatbot is Great.ai company, right? Everybody says, hey, we show empathy. We show it better than a human. And again, maybe that's true in some organizations, but I think humans are getting better and they have to get better with this, right? Or we are going to give this stuff up to AI and to an intelligence. Now, that's 2025. When we talk about AGI, we talk about, getting to an AI bot that can quote unquote think, that can do things outside of what a human is telling it to do, like kind of the scary Terminator stuff. I think we got to revisit this. Maybe there is some type of neural feeling that it gets, whatever that is. I'm not sure what that is, but I think today in what we're dealing with today, empathy is a human to human thing, and I've not been able to see any type of bot that really takes the place of true empathy from a human being, right? Bots can take the place of empathetic statements, right? But I still believe that when I talk to, to some type of virtual agent, I know that it's AI. I know where AI is today, and I know the things that it's telling me. It's grabbing from somewhere. It's not thinking them. It's not feeling what to say next. So again, we can talk about what that is and what empathy is. But again, that's kind of my definition of what I think this thing is today. And I think AI is best use case for empathy is actually scoring humans on the different level to get deeper down the funnel to really be able to show empathy. Right. And I agree. I mean, tone is important. Tone goes with empathy. But I mean, that actual feeling, I think it's a human thing, right? That's at least where my gut is in 2025. And again, if any of the chatbot guys want to come on and prove me wrong, I'll be more than happy, because I think it'd be cool if there is something that is better than a human doing it, right? But again, I'm going to know it's AI. I know it doesn't feel. So again, I'm kind of in that weird spot. But that's kind of how my kind of take on these as well. I get it, right? The cultural tone, right, Nate? Kind of offshore is there's some feelings with that, and maybe that's honestly maybe that's a good spot for kind of a virtual agent as well. There's a lot that goes into this, right? There's so much. I think just the cool piece of this is us thinking about empathy so much from how do we score it. And really kind of looking at the two pillars of intent and outcome, right? So if you're going to have an agent, right, that has the intent, right? And intent can be a little subjective, but intent goes right with the outcome. If the outcome of that interaction for that small piece of the call, again, raise sentiment, raise tone, lower tone, had a better outcome for the customer, if they're in a better spot, right? And we can measure that, right, from sentiment scoring and those types of things. I think that's where we can really go deeper down that empathy kind of rabbit hole and train and educate a little bit more. So that's my take on empathy and AI. I don't think it's there yet. I think AI is helping humans become more empathetic. But again, we're going to have a lot of conversations. I mean, we don't even know yet, too. If these AI bots are going to get so good, you're not going to know if you're talking to a human. There's still going to be a little bit of nuance that you're like, I think this is, I'm not sure. Right? We have to have that discussion. Do you have to talk and tell a customer that, hey, you are talking to a bot? Maybe because there's some things that you don't want to tell it. I don't know. Like there's a lot that is going to happen with this and go into this from, I don't even say morality deal, but just from a ethical deal. What is ethical? And I think empathy is a big piece of this. So again, thank you guys very much. Got any questions? Make sure you DM me, follow me on LinkedIn. I'm live here I canceled my X subscription, so it just told me I can't go live on X. I wasn't really getting much out of it. So again, live on Facebook, live on TikTok, live on LinkedIn. Thanks, guys. Talk next week.